All right, what is up? So today I want to talk about consistency and the importance of consistency and why you got to be in your health habits for the long haul versus expecting immediate and fast results. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but trust me, if you stick with me, I've got some great news for you. So your goal after going through this information would be to determine the things that are most important for you to be consistent with, to write those things down and map them out on some kind of a schedule or calendar. And as a bonus, come up with some affirmations or a vision for yourself and health to help you make these things happen. So first, I want to talk perfectionist mindset. Now, we always tend to look at the major changes in other people and even in ourselves and forget all the things that it took to get there and all the time that it took to get there, to get those results. And so a lot of times I think that we convince ourselves that in order to get some massive results or some dramatic results, we have to implement some massive action. This is what I call the perfectionist mindset. It's an attitude of all or nothing. I want to experience these changes, and so I got to do all these things. And the problem with that is you're setting yourself up to be let down, and eventually that pendulum is going to swing in the other direction because in most situations, you just can't sustain that level of commitment and activity. Now, eventually you are going to experience this breakthrough. You're going to wake up one day and be like, dang, I noticed the results in myself. But when that happens, you're going to have to remember that it was the result of many previous actions and many previous days done consistently over time that gave you what appears to be this big change. The change was happening all along, but you just couldn't notice it. So your daily health habits appear to make no difference or no noticeable difference, especially in the beginning, until you do notice some changes. And that amount of time for those changes to be noticeable is different for every health habit and every person. But the good news is that once you start to experience some positive changes, you know you're on the right track. And those changes may be slow in the beginning, but they're cumulative over time. And that's the weird thing about these positive health habits, right? We don't typically get these immediate results that we want. There's a delayed effect versus some of the things that are bad for us. We get an immediate result and an immediate bad reaction. But as an example, imagine you just started working out and you've been working out 3 days. You're not going to notice much of a result there. You may feel good from it and you may be sore, but your performance and your physique probably haven't changed at all. Now imagine working out consistently for 3 months. You're definitely going to notice some changes. And then imagine working out for 3 years. You'd be a completely different person. So again, the results that we're looking for, that you and I both are looking for, are the product of consistency with your health habits over time and not expecting dramatic transformations. Now, what's liberating about this is you can kind of forget about your current results and where you are now, because what matters most is not where you are, but what you're doing. The pro tip, focus on your current habits, not your current results. You can use your current results to motivate you to make the changes, but the current habits are what's most important. So for example, if you're at a healthy weight right now, but you're eating crap every night, eventually it's going to catch up with you. Don't focus on your current results. Focus on what you're doing. And on the flip side of that, if you're not where you want to be, you can commit now to the things that are going to put you on the right trajectory. Pro tip, you get what you do consistently. So what are the most important things to be consistent with as far as health habits? Well, I'd say your real food nutrition, your fitness, your sleep, and your personal quiet time. So let me just touch on some things to consider with each one of those. With your real food nutrition, you want to be consistently good most days while also building in some flexibility. And of course, you can vary like the timing of your meals, the structure of your meals. So consistency within real food nutrition just simply means eating the appropriate foods. And that's going to give you better and faster results than any of the other health habits. Now with fitness, the most important thing to be consistent with is making fitness a daily habit without being too concerned about when the fitness is in the day. But for most people, it is going to be beneficial to be consistent with the time of day that you work out so that you can get used to it and excited about it. And of course, I'd recommend being consistent with your resistance training in the context of working out most days. But the most important thing with fitness is just to be consistent, just to do something most days. Now with sleep, you got to be consistent with your rise and bedtimes every single day. That means getting up at about the same time and going to bed about the same time most days, if not every day, so that your body can anticipate sleep and fully commit to the sleep and restorative processes. And then you got to be consistent most days, if not every day, with getting early morning natural light into your eyes and getting brightness throughout the day, and also mimicking the night at night by minimizing your stimulus a couple hours before bedtime. So again, these sleep habits need to be consistent most days, if not every single day. And then for personal quiet time, the most important thing is just to be consistent with it most days. And very similar to fitness, I think most people are going to benefit from having a consistent personal quiet time, but just getting it in is what's most important. So again, you got to be consistent with your health habits over the long haul, because the results that you're looking for are the product of consistency with your health habits over time. And in the beginning, it may not seem like a lot's happening, but the good news is that once you start to notice benefits, those benefits will start to accumulate and compound over time. And the longer you do these things, the better you're going to look, feel, and perform. So figure out what are the health habits that you know that you want to and are committed to being consistent with. How are you going to be consistent with those things? I'd highly recommend plugging it into some kind of a calendar or vision board, and then get excited about what you know is going to happen over time. Don't expect tremendous results immediately, but do expect tremendous results with consistency. Questions, comments, feedback, even snide remarks, you can send it my way. Keep it real.